Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking. We're amidst our Meditation in Life series, and if you want to catch the series from the very first episode, click the link in our show notes. That will take you to episode 1 of Meditation in Life. Today's episode: what should we do after we have negated our vices? How do we prevent suppressing negative thoughts only for them to resurface later? In this next episode, Vivekji describes the difference between suppression and sublimation, and how we can plant the seeds of values to ensure we grow into living virtuously. Let's get started.
Greetings from Niagara Falls. Back in the day, when a child was 6 years old, they would shift from living at home to living in the Gurukula. And as part of that process, they were bestowed with a yajna upavita. Yes? It's like if you go to medical school, you have a white coat ceremony. Or if you go to engineering school, you're given a scientific calculator, right? So you have this yajna upavita. Upavita means thread, sacred thread. And yajna, we externalize as meaning ritual. So the external meaning of this symbol is, I can now participate and initiate rituals. So there's Gayatri Havan. You have your Agnihotra Homa, and on and on and on. Now the internalization of this ritual, this thread is a reminder, and for those who have one, you feel it. You feel it on your chest, you see it when you shower, you smell it because you don't wash it. That all you do, you should have that bhava that this is a yajna. Washing the dishes, going for a run, public speaking. A yajna is where you're dedicated. Dedicated to what? To Brahman. The yajnopavita is actually a thread that connects one from where they are now, who they are now, to who they finally are. That is infinity. I'll share another internalization with you. When you're 6 years old, and this is more so for the devas than the devis, your head is shaved, and you keep what is that called? What do you keep? I'll tell you a funny story about this. I had a shikha for a long time before I had donated my hair. Right, many of you know this. So I was at one center, and it was a question reflection period. And a group of people asked me, Vivekji, why do you have a rat tail? And the more polite people say pigtail. And the most polite people call it a ponytail. But they're really different descriptions of an animal's hair, correct? A shikha is like a shikara, which you see at a mandir, yes? A shikara beneath that is usually where there's an icon, where there's a murti. Now, why one has a shikha, this is a reminder that Bhagwan should live in here. Yes, your shikha is on your head. It's a reminder to live here. See how we use these rituals, and we keep them as rituals, not realizing these are to be internalized. And I'll give you one more facet of this. When I was in business school, I had to take a course on ethics. How many of you had to take a course on ethics in college or in your workplaces? Okay. Who has to take a course on ethics? I know you had your hands up, but what kind of person needs to take a course on ethics? Only those who are not infinite have to take courses on ethics, isn't it? Only those who are not Brahman have ethics that apply to them, because if one has realized the self, then you're in tune with every aspect of creation, every creature. How can you be unethical? Our course is an opportunity to evolve from externalization to internalization, from theory to practice, from effects to cause. And I'll share a very deep message relating to effects and cause. What is avidya? Is avidya, as in ignorance, an effect or a cause? Share with me. Is avidya an effect or a cause? Tough question, no? It's a 50-50 split. It's like election night. You never know till the answer comes. Avidya is an effect. And if our course is designed for us to go deeper, we go from effect to cause, that really means our course is designed for us to let go of avidya, especially those who feel avidya is a cause, which means you feel avidya is real. The chapter we studied last week, I believe, was entitled Silence the Mind. And a message in this chapter was to train the mind, to train ourselves to see the oneness in so many facets of our lives. As an example, there's many names, there's fewer forms, there's one existence. Yes, I have many names, but there's only a few forms. Sometimes I'm heavier, sometimes I'm lighter. But there's one existence. Okay, here's another aspect. Past, present, future. We feel that there's many periods of time when there's actually simply the present. Even to experience the past, you have to do it in the present. To experience the future, you have to do it in the present. You can break matters up into gigaseconds or seconds or years or giga years. They're simply the present. Now, applying this to Vedanta, avidya, what's next? Vasana, Eshana, Vritti, Karma. Because we feel avidya is real, a cause, we think all of these are effects and we treat them to be real also. But if I'm trained to see the oneness, I know all of this is avidya then. All of these are effects, and I have to go deeper. How? By using your intellect. To use your intellect in a way that only humans can. Stones, plants, and animals, their intellects are not developed enough to have an ideal. An ideal is that which helps you to evolve, is a catalyst to evolution. If you can visualize this, imagine an ideal is above you. If it's above you, you can hold on to it and lift yourself up, correct? For the rest of creation, they cannot have an ideal, so their evolution is not through self-effort. It's not conscious. It's happening. It is unconscious. The ideal that our intellect needs to be infused with is to shift our vision from objects to the subject. As long as our ideal is objects, articles, beings, circumstances, we will be living for pleasure, possession, position, and what we will never touch or feel is divinity or peace. We have to bring that ideal into our lives. And those who are doing this, I'm positive that you are feeling quieter. You're quieter when you sleep. You're quieter when you wake up. You're quieter when you drive. You're quieter when you speak. You're quieter in class. You don't look at other people as much. You still do, but not as much. In contemplation, when you have those glimpses of silence, glimpses meaning you hear that, you don't initiate more thoughts in the sense that you don't describe that silence. What is it? Why is it? You let it be. And out of your contemplation space, you're quieter in the sense that you don't react as much. Those who react have a lot of noise inside, so they make a lot of noise outside. But those with the ideal to tune into the subject, they're quieter. There's not more noise inside, so they don't react then. The first part of meditation and life is about our lifestyle. The second part of meditation and life is the process of meditation. And we've explored the process of meditation demands introspection, detection, negation, substitution. Yes? This is perpetual. In a micro sense, we've established our space, our seat, our sanctum, our senses. This is where we are. This is a short chapter that's focused on negation. That if you engage in negation wrongly, that's called, tell me. Like TV shows have commercials, this is a water break. When negation is engaged in wrongly, what is that called? I like to see the first movers because everyone else says, I think most of the time she or he gets it right. I should just write the same thing then too. It is suppression. When engaged in wrongly, it is suppression. When negation is engaged in rightly, what is it called? Sublimation. Okay. Let's visualize this first. How many of you own plots of land in India? Empty spaces in India. A few of you have your hands up. Functionally, my question to you is why? How are you ever going to get that money out of India? But now it's shifting more to the fundamentals. If you have a piece of land that suppose you inherited from your grandparents, whether in India or North America, and you find out about it, it was just given to you. So you go to this field. And when you go to this field, all you see is wildness, correct? This is not a field, this is the wilderness. But you're told that this field can be valuable. It's located in Bangalore, it's located in Chennai, it's located on the outskirts of Kansas City. So what do? You start to clear that field. Now when I say you, I mean you pay someone to do it, like any of you know how to clear a field. So you pay someone to clear that field. So that wild field is now a clear field. And now you feel good, so you have tended to that field and you resume your day-to-day efforts. You forget about that field. Now, you need some money, so you put it up for sale, And to do so, you go back to the field, and what has happened? That field is wild again. The wilderness has returned. Now why? You cleared it. How come this field is exactly like it used to be? Because you never planted the right seeds. See, this is like an agricultural course also, and a Vedanta course also. If you had planted the right seeds, that means you would have taken out all of the roots of those wild plants. I can't think of the names right now. Weeds. You would have taken the roots of those weeds all out. You would have planted the right seeds, and as those right seeds turned into the right plants, any weeds that would have been there would have been destroyed by those right seeds, those right plants. Planting seeds in Vedanta is called sadhana. Now you've heard this so many times, but try to understand it in this context. Sadhana is that which leads you to the sadhya. This is the path, this is the purpose. If I change the word sadhya and purpose into Bhagwan, into God, then all of a sudden, your sadhana is converting values into virtues. Because Bhagavan is the one who has all bhaga, the one who has all virtues all the time. That's what planting seeds is converting values into virtues. Is burning incense from a solid to a gas. Substitution. Substitution is what prevents suppression from happening so that there's only sublimation. Our Creator, our Bhagwan, is awesome. Our Creator is awesome because our Creator wants the absolute best from us. And I'll explain how in a technical way. For stones and plants and animals, they evolve. They are controlled by Prakriti. It is simply nature. Nature is that system that guides stones and plants and animals to be who they are. Stones and plants and animals do not suffer the disease that we suffer from called bhava roga. An apple tree doesn't try to become a cherry tree. A tiger doesn't try to become a wildebeest. They're not becoming, they are being because of nature or prakriti. Now for humans, that control system has been lifted. We have choice. We have choice to evolve or devolve. Why I'm sharing Bhagwan is the best, because Bhagwan is not allowing us to be all right, is not allowing us to be complacent with training only, but there is testing. This is our test. Can we live virtuously? And if you're feeling the flow of this particular chapter, it's as if Swami Chinmayananda is focusing on taking us from the controlled environment to the uncontrolled environment. The controlled environment's the training. If we're put in a position where we're just suppressing our anger, suppressing our desire, suppressing our lust, that means we failed that test. That ideal to tune into the subject. We're not using our intellect as we're supposed to. So if I failed the test, what do I have to do? go back to training. And this chapter is completed with an emphasis on vigilance. Animals particularly are ever vigilant. Birds, cats, alligators, they're ever vigilant, always aware of their outer environment. We're like that too, yes? When we drive, how we eat, Grammarly, right? Grammarly is our vigilance when it comes to writing. Vigilance in the beginning of sadhana, and forget about sadhana, let's just make this small. Vigilance at the beginning of the day, and forget about the day. Vigilance at the beginning of a major part of what you're going to do, an activity. Vigilance begins with insight. Insight. When you have insight into this debate is going to be like this drive is going to be like this interaction is going to be like that, that insight changes how you feel about what's going to happen. Yes? Last night / this morning, there was a snowstorm, I'm sure for a whole lot of you, in the Northeast for sure. So, leaving to drop Vyas off at preschool, knowing that there was a snowstorm, you have to start the car earlier. The teachers have to know that some of the students are going to come late, and on and on and on, yes? Insight changes all. Now, if all the snow melts, with that insight, you can start the car later, and on and on and on. Vigilance in the middle of a meeting, the middle of a run, the middle of cooking, is determination. You will not give up. Determination. You will find ways to complete this verb, this task, this day, this sadhana, rather than finding ways not to. Got it? Insight in the beginning, determination in the middle. And what is vigilance near the end? You tell me. Think about an activity, a day, a sadhana. What will vigilance feel like? Peace, happiness. Good. Surrender. Vigilance near the end of your meeting, your drive, your japa is surrender. You've created enough momentum in determination where you have come to the appreciation that this cannot be completed without the presence of your Creator, without the support of Brahman, and it is that factor which leads us to the end of sadhana, which means we've tuned into the sadhya. Many people, they drop their vigilance, whether it's the end of a drive, the end of a relationship, end of their life, end of whatever, and it is becoming inadvertent or careless, where they don't change permanently. The wilderness comes back, and there's too much danger in this. This is my last thought, and I pray that none of you have gone through this or will go through this. Once someone reaches a certain point in their evolution, but they've not substituted or they've not gone through this determination, surrender, they fall back and they lose faith in Bhagwan, the Shastra, the Guru Shishya Parampara, and finally, what do they lose faith in? Themselves. And they're stuck. Vigilance. Insight, determination, surrender.
If you enjoyed what you heard or want to learn more, share this episode with a friend or find us online at facebook.com/cmniagara. For those on the journey of self-development, Chinmaya Mission Niagara provides a community forum for seekers to listen, reflect, and contemplate. This podcast is produced by the Young Adults of Chinmaya Mission, an international nonprofit working to transform individuals through the knowledge of Vedanta. Until next time, inspire, love,